So some crazy news just broke out in the NBA bubble in Orlando, and there's even a possibility that this situation could lead to the end of the NBA season. And this just came out of nowhere as far as I've seen. I mean, there were 3 NBA games scheduled to be played tonight, and now we might not even have another game this season. And this isn't even clickbait or any kind of speculation on what might happen. As you guys are gonna see later in the video, the NBA is legitimately having a meeting with the players at 8 p.m. tonight where they're gonna decide on the future of the season and if they should continue or not. Now, if you remember just a few months ago when they were coming up with the concept for the bubble and how everything was gonna function, it was pretty much perfect timing because it was just around the time when there was major protests going on in pretty much every major city in the country. So the players pretty much put their foot down and said they would only play in the bubble if they were able to protest for Black Lives Matter in some way. So obviously that's why the players have stuff like say their names and how many more on the back of their jerseys, and I'm pretty sure all the teams have been kneeling during the national anthem too. Well, before the NBA bubble kicked off, there was players like Kyrie Irving who were really questioning it, and you know, they were bringing up the point that it might not be a good idea and it might not work out, and it looks like Kyrie might have actually been spot on with his speculation there, because today the Milwaukee Bucks and the Orlando Magic were scheduled to play the 6th game of their series, and as you can see by this tweet here, the Milwaukee Bucks still haven't come out to the court for Game 6 with the Orlando Magic, and there's been some discussion within the Bucks about a boycott. So the Bucks ended up boycotting this game. They never came out of their locker rooms and it was canceled. They forfeited to the Magic and gave them the free win, but the Magic declined, so there was no outcome. And I didn't notice this until just now, but in this follow-up tweet, it says the Milwaukee Bucks have decided to boycott Game 5. So I don't know if it was Game 5 or Game 6. I haven't been keeping up with that series because I don't watch the Bucks or the Magic. I know the Lakers are on Game 5, so this probably was actually Game 5, not Game 6. But anyway, this says the Bucks players have made this decision in the wake of the situation in Wisconsin, ultimately deciding that they wouldn't leave the locker room for the start of Game 5 against Orlando. And immediately once this news broke, it just became a huge stories. A ton of NBA players came out in support. LeBron James said, "F this man, we demand change, sick of it." Trae Young came out in support of the Bucks. Dwayne Wade, just pretty much everyone was behind them. And naturally, this started to inspire other players. You know, maybe they should boycott their games. Maybe they should take a stand too, and that's exactly what happened, because as soon as this news broke, tweets started coming out like this. The Lakers have a team meeting soon to discuss the possibility of boycotting Game 5 tonight against Portland. And then immediately after this, the news broke that the Thunder and the Rockets would both be boycotting their games for tonight. So obviously the NBA had to come out and say something. Every player that was scheduled to play tonight just announced they were boycotting the games all at once. So the NBA came out with this statement right here, and they said the NBA and NBPA today announced that in light of the Milwaukee Bucks decision to not take the floor today for Game 5 against the Orlando Magic, today's 3 games, Milwaukee versus Orlando, Houston versus OKC, and LA versus Portland, have been postponed. Game 5 of each series will be rescheduled. And when I first saw this, I assumed, you know, okay, the players are getting to protest and bring attention to what's going on. The games are just getting canceled for a few days, maybe, you know, less than a week. But then I saw a ton of people speculating that this would be the end of the NBA season. And that speculation was confirmed to be more of a real threat when Woj tweeted this: "Emotions are raw. Players were already worn out of their bubble environment prior to the situation, and sources say discussions within the teams are ongoing about postponing tomorrow's 3 games too. And beyond, the season is in jeopardy," one vet player here tells ESPN. So we have veteran players inside the bubble who are just ready to pack it up. They think the season's done. You know, if we have actual NBA players inside the bubble thinking that they might not get to play another game here in Orlando, that must mean that this is a very real threat. It's all really gonna come down to this player meeting that they're having at 8 p.m. tonight. You know, if that meeting doesn't go well and the players really want to leave and just get out of Orlando, the players don't think their message is getting out there, they don't think it's going well, then that's probably the end of the season, at least for now. I'm not sure if they can actually just stop a season midway through like that, but I mean, if the players refuse to play, what can they really do? But with that said, I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this down in the comments. You know, do you think the NBA season is getting shut down for good? Do you think it's gonna come back in just a few days? Are you hoping to see the NBA come back? Personally, I was hoping to see the Lakers win the finals, but I mean, obviously I'd rather see them standing up for a good cause than winning a finals trophy. But with that being said, that's where I'm gonna wrap up this video. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at RelexYT, and other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out.